Good Friday morning, a little bit of a snowy morning. Nice to have snow, at least for a snow lover like me, before Christmas time. Sets the mood. It's really exciting to me. It's a beautiful snow. It was really fluffy this morning, easy to shovel earlier, but the roads weren't really well treated, so a lot of people slipped around, and it was a problem. Things should clear up here as we go forward, and so don't look for too many more problems, but there are still some lingering snow showers and snow flurries. And as we get into this evening, there's even a chance that some drizzle could break out as we get an easterly flow off the ocean. This high pressure system that's to the east here is going to push easterly winds. That's going to bring in some low level moisture. That moisture could freeze. So we got to watch and see if that materializes later today into this evening, because as the sun sets, freezing rain and drizzle could become a problem. Honestly, when you have light freezing rain, it's the best way that freezing rain can build up on roads. So we'll see maybe if they treat this afternoon based on that forecast now. As we go through the evening and into tomorrow, it's going to be a not too bad of a day. There's no real strong winds or anything. We're seeing on the chilly side around the low 40s, and even some reinforcing cooler air as we head into late Sunday into Monday. Monday will even be colder as we get the more northerly flow into this area, and then into early next week. And then as we kind of go through the week, we'll see reinforcing shots now of colder air as we head, as I said, later into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here's the cold air and a lot more breeze as we head in early next week. So it's going to be a cold start to the week for sure as that reinforcing cold air kind of comes in here. But what we're not seeing is moisture. And here comes our first chance of what we kind of call clipper, but it's not truly a clipper because of the way it originated. But this is going to bring in slightly warmer air. This is some strong southwesterly winds. This should warm us up like by Wednesday, Thursday of next week. But on the backside, cold air is going to quickly then return, and we will have strong winds and cold temperatures as we go late next week into next weekend. And then we're watching another disturbance ride. These are northern stream systems, so they're not getting any moisture from the Gulf. If they were, we'd see a lot more chances of snow. Now, I'm not going to rule out that we won't see a little bit of snow during these warmer overtakes, meaning this is a strong southerly wind. So as we go into Friday of next week, we're going to get warm. But before it gets warm, we may slightly mix with some stuff before it goes over to rain. And then the front comes through, and then there's a really chilly outbreak here with a lot of cold air for next weekend coming down, sliding down with this high pressure coming out of Canada. Whoa, I jumped forward. Sorry. So with the cold air coming out of Canada, so like the following weekend looks cold, and then there were some hints that maybe we'd have a brutally cold outbreak to follow. We'll have to see. This is a much colder look. I mean, this isn't as cold as a look as it was earlier. For the first time in a while, we're seeing this southern system get its act together. And the question is, what will it do here as it heads to the east with this high stay in place? What exactly is going to happen overall? It's going to be hard to watch and hard to see it this far out, but we'll see. That would be moving into Christmas week, and that is when I think we'd have our next chance really potentially anything significant. Between now and then, it looks super dry. We continue in a drought. It's going to be cold. I mean, we're going to be relatively mild this weekend with highs into the low to mid 40s. Then reinforcing cold early next week. Then maybe warming up towards the end of next week before we get really cold next weekend again. And then we stay cold again, and then we got to just watch and see what happens. But the trajectory of precipitation, we have a northwest flow. You get these little clipper systems that could drop a little bit of snow here and there, but they're not in a good trajectory for us right now for us to get any precipitation. So it would have to be after the middle of the month before we start looking for maybe our next real threat of winter weather. However, as we get these little warm-up, quick little warm-ups in between, there is a chance for some moisture to override some of the cold air in place. We could have a mixy type situation before rain. So we'll wait and see next week. Right now, I'm not counting on it, and the weather forecast isn't really showing it either. So we'll just have to see how things get set up as we go into the future. All right, so precipitation, as I mentioned, it is just bone dry. I mean, this is easy. I don't even need to go local. I mean, look at this. Look at this hole here over the region of just dryness for the next 7 days. What we're seeing here, probably some moisture from today, not from the next 7 days. This is just a dry pattern for us, big time. So that's not good. And then when we look at the long range for the temperature forecasts, continuing strongly cold, especially the next 6 to 10 days, and ever ending here. The northwesterly flow, cold air out of Canada, but not a good trajectory for lows coming up the East Coast. So the cold December, there were some people really forecasting a really cold December. They are right on. And what they said in this is that after December, we could really warm up for January, which is sad for snow lovers, but I mean, that's the reality. But also in January, there was a show of a breakdown of the La Nina pattern, which is the warmer, the colder body of water over the Pacific. And at that point, once that breaks down, it does give us potentially more opportunity. Right about prime time for us into January, beginning of February for more snowy systems. So we'll see if that has any chance of coming true. Any snow before Christmas to me is a bonus as a snow lover, but we'll see how things come out. All right, have a good rest of your day and rest of your week and into the weekend as we get Loudoun County Weather Outlook.